the app today.
This is a shout out to all hardworking farmers and ranchers. If you're looking for the cream of the crop in post-frame construction, look no further than Thor Buildings. Because let's face it, having the right size building for your equipment or livestock is crucial for your success. At Thor Buildings, they'll design your building for max efficiency, customized to tackle the seasonal weather in your neck of the woods. Post-frame construction tailored to your livestock and ag needs. Buildings built better, stronger, and built to last. So when it's time to put the hammer down, build with Thor. Visit thorbuildings.com today.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us on this 106 beautiful afternoon. Meteorologist Justin Storm, and well, we kicked Dean out of the studio, so Dean will not be joining us today. And Bridgette is at a bull sale, so she is looking at purchasing some beef. She'll be rejoining us, however, throughout the program when we have our guest coming on in just a little bit. What a beautiful afternoon out there. All I can say is I'm getting really not sick of. I'm really enjoying how nice this winter has been. And we're sitting right now close to about 40 degrees outside of the FM metro. And up and down the valley, it's just a great afternoon. 41 degrees in Grand Forks, 41 in Fargo. Detroit Lakes sitting at about 36. Wadena at 40 degrees as we look into North Dakota. Jamestown is at 44. Devil's Lake about 40 degrees. And even out in western North Dakota, starting to approach that 50 degree mark. Lots of sunshine across the state. We will see a little bit of increase in clouds as we head throughout the afternoon, but it's still going to be a sunny day. And we're going to be having temperatures rising into the mid and upper 40s. The record for Fargo today, 49 degrees, set back in 1958. I think we got a good shot at least tying that record. I don't think we'll break it, but I wouldn't be surprised necessarily if we did. I have us topping out at about 48, 49 degrees for this afternoon. Hey, you got any questions on the weather? You want to join the program today? Tell a joke, have some fun. Call us on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. Emails to the program are weatherorag@flagfamily.com, and as well, those comment boxes available on Facebook and YouTube Live. I got a few fun things we're going to do on the program today. One of them is going to be a giveaway, but before I touch on what that giveaway is going to be, a few of the ag topics that we'll get to in the back half of our show today is kind of talking a little bit about the difference between Kobe and Wagyu beef. What's the difference? What are they? We're going to find out and talk about a little bit about the differences, and as well, talking about a remote grading beef pilot program. So we'll find out what's going on with that as we head throughout this hour of the show. And our last topic that we'll get to is accurate labeling of meat versus lab-grown meat. And I really don't know how I feel about the whole lab-grade meat. I don't know if anyone out there has tried lab-grade meat or lab-made meat, I should say, and you want to call in, let me know what it's like. Would you even taste it? Or what are your thoughts? 701-293-9000. Guest that'll be joining us, I believe that's going to be Tisa. And let's see. She is with the Dakota Horse Magazine and Dakota Cowboy on Beck TV. So she's going to be joining us here at the 120 segment. So in just about 10 minutes from now. But why don't we do a quick rundown on the forecast? Because I know that people are probably wondering, how long could this beautiful weather possibly last before we start getting some colder temperatures to flood into North Dakota? And we've been talking about and teasing the possibility of some snow, the possibility of it being measurable snow as we head into next week. So not much for snow today. As I mentioned, mid and upper 40s today. It's lots of sunshine. Skies will go partly cloudy this afternoon. It's also going to be a little on the breezy side. We're going to be looking at wind about 10 to 25 miles per hour out of the west and then the west-northwest for this afternoon. Currently, we have a west wind at 15 miles per hour. For tonight, a cold front will drop down out of Canada. That's going to switch our wind out of the north about 10 to 25 miles an hour and probably gusting a little stronger than that at times. And along that front, we're likely going to see a few snow showers, a light burst of snow, a few flurries maybe would be a better way of putting that, as temperatures drop into the mid-teens in the northern valley and upper teens to low 20s in the southern valley and over into Lakes Country, Minnesota. Accumulating snow? No, not really. Trace amounts to maybe a few spots getting a very light dusting, and we'll hang on to a slight chance for a few flurries or a brief burst of snow on Friday. It'll trend drier throughout the afternoon. We'll mix in more sunshine by the end of the day, but temperature's not going to recover a whole lot. We're going to be stuck in the 20s. A few of us within the Southern Valley and Lakes Country will get lucky if you break 30 degrees, with wind becoming 10 to 15 out of the north. Now, for the weekend, it's not too bad. Saturday's going to start off sunny. It's going to end more clouds than sun. The temperatures are going to be in the upper 40s and low 50s. It is going to be a bit on the windy side, though, with a west-southwest wind, about 10 to 25, 15 to 30 miles an hour. It's going to be a breezy, borderline blustery afternoon on Saturday. But good news is the wind will lighten up to end the weekend. There is a possibility of an isolated pocket of a wintry mix. Nothing that's going to cause an issue, but just something that might be a nuisance for a few of us on Sunday. Outside of that, it will be more clouds than sun. Temperature is closer to 40 degrees. But hey, I got another day where we might be breaking some record temperatures in the forecast. Now, I don't think we're going to break the record, but it'll at least be flirting with it. Monday, the record is 59 degrees, set back in 1896. I'm currently forecasting 57, so we'll see how that pans out over the next few days if we leave that the same or maybe drop it a degree or two. And I only say drop it a degree or two because it's really dependent on how an area of low pressure tracks into our area. If it lifts a little further north, we very well might hit 60 degrees. If it drops a little further south, we might get stuck in the low to mid 50s instead of mid to uppers. But with that storm system, that area of low pressure, that's our next LRC storm that's going to track across the Rockies into the Great Lakes area. It's going to bring potential for severe weather throughout portions of Texas and then into the southeast and eventually potentially into portions of the East Coast, at least the southern East Coast. So some very, I guess you could say, exciting weather for a meteorologist, but it definitely could bring some implications for some of us. It just looks like the core of that storm, at least the part that would bring measurable snow, would be just to our south and southwest. But I still think we got a good shot of at least seeing some snow, and models are kind of bouncing around a bit on this as well, wanting to bring in some of the heavier snow into North Dakota, others trying to keep it just to our north, and then the main storm just to our south and west. But from this morning, I've seen anywhere from about a dusting up to 7 inches of snow in portions of eastern North Dakota. So kind of a big range. Of course it is. We're talking about a storm system that's a very long ways away. Yeah, relatively long ways away. But I thought it'd be a fun thing to do because we've done this in the past where we've taken phone callers. So here's your cue. If you want a chance at winning a rain gauge from Productive Alternatives, we're going to play a little game again called Guess How Much Snow We're Going to Get with Our Next Snow System that comes through. So if you want to play along, I'll take your guess, write your names down for how much snow is going to fall between Monday night and Tuesday night. So we will take the official reading on Wednesday morning. So Wednesday afternoon, we will give away how much snow actually fell, if any, by chance. Give us a call, 701-293-9000 for the Red Wing Shoes phone line. If you want to give a guess on how much snow do you think will come, that chance for snow is Tuesday into Tuesday night, maybe as early as Monday night. But we'll take a look beyond that while people get on the line if you want to enter that chance. After we head past Tuesday with that chance for snow, we're going to get significantly colder to near 20 degrees, if not stuck in the teens on Wednesday. But that is short-lived as well, because as we head into the end of next week, it looks like we get another push of warm air from the southwest, and that will bring our temperatures back into the 20s on Thursday. And as we head into Friday, it very well looks like we may be pushing 50 degrees again, if not at least 40s. So that is something to look forward to. We will cool down a little bit behind this system, but right afterwards, it looks like we're going to go and warm right back up. Hi there, caller. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. What's your name?
John.
What you said, Doug?
That? John.
John, how much?
Yeah.
What's the first letter of your last name?
T.
John T. Well, hey, how much snow do you think is going to fall with this next little system that's coming through the region? Here in Fargo, I should say. A quarter inch. All right. I got you down at 0.25. Thanks for calling, John. Appreciate it. And then why don't we go on over to Sue? Sue, how are you doing today?
Good. Thank you. I'm going to I'm going to guess 2.5
We can
inches.
bet. 2.5.
Yeah.
All right. And Sue, what's the first letter of your last name?
K.
K. All right. Sue, appreciate it. Thanks for calling. Be listening on Wednesday. We'll be announcing whoever wins that. Again, for those that are just joining us, we're taking some snowfall bets on this next system that's coming through Monday night into Tuesday on how much snow is going to be officially registered at Fargo. I got guesses between 1/4 inch and 2.5 inches of snow right now. We'll take the readings between the 26th, 27th, and 28th morning. That'd be Wednesday morning, and announce it Wednesday afternoon. 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone line. Hi there, Mike. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad.
Hey, how much snow do you think we're going to get?
One
What's
inch.
that? 1 inch.
1 inch.
All right. I got you down for 1, Mike. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Be listening on Wednesday. And why don't we head on over to Nikki? Nikki, how are you?
Good.
How much snow do you think we're going to get?
I don't think we're going to get any.
All right. I got you down for 0.
Perfect. Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks for calling and listening, Nikki. Again, 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone line. Chris, I'm going to have you on coming next in just a moment. But yeah, we're talking about this little system. Again, the core of it looks like it's going to be going south, but I still think that we got a good shot of at least seeing some snow. And I'm not overly concerned about it right now, but it's something to keep a close eye on. If things do shift a little bit, we could have a heavier band of snow lifting further from the south into southern North Dakota. As I said, morning model runs had anywhere between 0 and about 7 inches of snow in portions of eastern North Dakota. So if you want to take a bet, I got a couple more minutes here before we got to go to break. 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone line. Hey there, Chris. How are you doing today?
Good.
How much snow do you think we're going to get?
1.65 inches.
1.65 inches over the 2-day span. Appreciate it, Chris. I got you down. All right. Doug, how's it going?
Pretty good.
How much snow do you think is going to be registered in Fargo or reported?
3/4 of an inch.
All right. I got you down for 3/4 of an inch of snow. Appreciate it, Doug. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. And there we go. And I got one more person on the line here, it looks like, and then we'll be heading to a quick break with the American Ag Network. But when we come back, before we go to break, when we come back afterwards, I believe it's either Tisa or Lisa. I got my notes mixed up here, a little bit of smudge over the first part of the name, but I think it's Lisa Peck or Peak from Dakota Horse Magazine and Dakota Cowboy on Beck TV. She'll be joining us in just a moment as well. Bridgette's going to be rejoining us because she's at a bull auction right now, and she's either purchasing some bulls or she's at least getting what the top bull is going to sell for. So she'll be joining us in just a few moments as well. Dorothy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Hey, thanks for calling. How much snow do you think we're going to report here in Fargo after this next little system comes through next week?
I think 3.5 inches.
3.5 inches of snow. All right. Well, I got you down, Dorothy. Thanks for calling. Have a great day.
All right.
All right. Well, there we go. That'll wrap it up for now. Maybe we'll introduce this again at the end of the show after our guest, but we got to get caught up with the American Ag Network. But again, if you want to join in on our conversation that we're about to have, feel free to do so. 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone line. We'll see you guys back here in just a moment, right after the American Ag Network.
A mixed bag in livestock futures as we wrap up Thursday's session. You're listening to the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen with this market update. Well, we were sharply higher in fats and feeders and in the hog trade as we worked through the morning, but we started to take some profit here late in the session in both cattle and hogs, especially on this cattle side. A little bit of hesitation ahead of Friday afternoon's cattle on feed report. We're expected to see a pretty low placements number. Could be one of the lowest since 2007. And if that does come true, could be bullish to the market, but also really squaring up positions here ahead of that report. And one has to wonder if some of that pre-report expectation could already be factored into the market. Looking at cash cattle country, got bids of 180 live in Kansas, 290 dressed in Nebraska. Beef cutouts at midday higher, choice up $1.39, 299.19 with select up 123. 285.69. Hog prices and trends are steady in Dorchester, Wisconsin, and Garnerville, Iowa. Barrows and gilts at 50 in both of those locations. I want to get a look at the pork cutout value at midday as well. That's up 290 at 93.07. Now on the cattle side, we've seen slaughter in 2024 down 5.6% from a year ago, partly due to fewer cattle as well as a tough stretch of cold weather in January. And really traders just exercising a lot of that caution here ahead of that cattle on feed report. Be interesting to see what those numbers do look like coming up here Friday after the close. You're listening to the American Ag Network.
Every day, our brave military men and women, along with their families, make tremendous sacrifices for our freedom. Patriotic Hearts, a nonprofit organization, is dedicated to supporting these heroes and their families in their times of need. By donating your unwanted card to Patriotic Hearts, you'll be supporting job transition and job fair programs, veteran entrepreneurship, counseling, and retreats for combat veterans and their spouses. Call 800-560-3870. You'll receive a tax deduction, and we'll arrange a free pickup at your convenience. Imagine the difference you can make in the lives of those who have given so much for our country. Your card donation will directly impact military families, veterans, providing them with the support they desperately need. Call 800-560-3870. You can become a part of something bigger. Join us in our mission to uplift and honor our military community. Call 800-560-3870 to donate your unwanted card.
Lean hog index up 117, 77.97. Feeder cattle index up 242.66. And then again in futures, we are off the highs of the day as we get into the close. February live cattle down 47, 183.50. April lives down 115, 186.55. March feeders up 47, 250.182. April hogs up 130, 87.27. This is the American Ag Network.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And thank you for joining us today here on Weather and Ag in Focus. Hey, Justin. I apologize my tardiness for joining you. I am, in fact, in South.
You were buying cows.
We are about to. In fact, I am just in from the sale. Started here at 1 o'clock. Lunch was awesome. Always go for lunch. And I'm not sure that you and Jacob noticed on the break. I'm just finishing dessert, that lemon meringue pie.
Look at that. That looks luscious.
It's quite tasty. I'm not going to tell you if it's my second piece of pie or not. That doesn't matter. But what does matter is today our guest is with us from the Dakota Horse Magazine. And this is Tisa Peak. Tisa, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
Good. How are you guys? Thanks for having us.
We are fabulous. I'm glad that you're here. So where are you calling from today and what are you doing? I'm hearing some cows moo in the background where I'm at. How about you?
Actually, I did come in from the barn, so maybe I should have just stayed out there, but I am at home where we actually have the magazine. I don't have much of an office. It's the barn. And then I'm on location a lot with it. And we train horses, my husband and I and my family. And that's that. I guess the Western way of life is our life. And we love North Dakota more than anything. I was born and raised here. I left for a little while. And I just realized North Dakota has everything you could ever need to be a rodeo competitor, a farmer, a business owner, a mom, and the best place to raise children.
That is true. Okay. Well, let's start with the magazine. Did you kick off the Dakota Horse Magazine? Was it in existence as you took it over. Tell us the history of how that came together.
So, no, actually, my husband and I kind of founded it. I had written for numerous publications throughout my horse journey. I guess one thing I had to learn was I learned everything myself with horses, and I had to not be afraid to ask questions. And that led me to college in Wyoming, and then I went on to Texas with my horses and back here. But through that whole journey, I think there's hundreds of people that have helped me. And all these articles I had were just knowledge. And then when I was raising my kids through youth rodeo and high school rodeo up here, I realized I needed a bigger platform because our amateur and junior and youth rodeo associations are growing so much. And then we have the mounted shooters, we have people in dressage, we have partners in ag. I'm buying corn, oats, and alfalfa by the tons. And it all goes hand in hand. I was writing for a different publication weekly on the equine side. And that's when I realized my platform wasn't big enough. So I said, hey, to my husband, I think we need to start something like this. I don't know how we're going to do it. And then we also wanted to incorporate an events calendar because just keeping track of our rodeo schedule was intense, let alone everything else that was going on. So we kind of started up that web page. It'll be 2 years this summer. We went to print way sooner than we intended because there is that sector that loves just having something in their hands. There's nothing like it. And then the art throughout the magazine and the pictures are priceless. My mom is an artist, so I have access to all originals to have coffee table editions that are basically timeless. And I was just like, we have publications going out to 17 or 18 states right now. So it's put North Dakota on the map. And we do, yes, the focus is a little on North Dakota right now, but it's the northern region. It's just different how we raise horses, how we train horses, season horses, and how adaptable our children have to be through all this. So that's how it came to be, I guess. And an advocate for the horse. There is a lot of people, the culture has gone crazy with horses. It feels like it wasn't as popular when I was growing up in Ward County, which is farm country. And I feel like a lot of people just need this knowledge to help their horses be better. And Dakota actually in Lakota language means friend or ally. So the horse is my friend, my best friend, that's for sure. And it's my communication. It's the only way I know how to talk.
And
Are we there?
We are. I think we just lost Bridgette, though. I know that she had another question queued up there, so I was waiting to see if she was going to reconnect. But you said you do physical copies. Is it just physical copies, or do you do an online digital copy as well?
We have a digital copy available. We have a weekly presence on the website and obviously our Facebook. Everybody follows that. And then the print publication is quarterly, so we just came out with our winter edition about a month ago, and we'll come out with summer when it's ready, and spring and fall. Spring before summer. I guess it feels like summer outside. So I got ahead of myself. So all that's available at DakotaHorseMagazine.com, and it's pretty easy to find us on Facebook too.
Oh, that's super cool. When you release a new issue, obviously you can, I would imagine, sign up to have the copy sent to your physical property, your location, or wherever it is that you're having it sent to. But with the digital copies, is it like an email distribution, or is it just on like the website and Facebook for people to go to and get it? Say,
no,
you signed up for the magazine, and then how do I know that the new one comes out?
We actually put the buzz out on Facebook predominantly, and then I have Pride of Dakota shows we attend, the North Dakota State Fair. We're in the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame gallery, But yes, email's a good way to contact and get that information as well.
Okay, and what's been your favorite?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Our email is info@DakotaHorseMagazine.com.
Awesome. And what would you say has been your favorite thing, or what you've liked the most about writing for the magazine or doing the magazine as a whole? What's your favorite thing about it that you've been able to be a part of?
It's actually expressing all these stories of these people that are, you'll have people working full-time jobs, trying to raise a family, and having their horse thing on the side. They're going to rodeos and highlighting them, or the 5-year-old girl that's showing her horse at the North Dakota State Fair for the first time, or the high school rodeo athletes that are athletes in the winter and they are getting great grades and they just have a story to share at the rodeo. And the relationships that horses provide. I guess getting to highlight our people with their horses is just a gift in itself. And then also bringing up further talent. This kind of escalated where I have to reach out for more help. So I have some writers on board, which is awesome because we get their perspectives and I can see them just have happiness as well. And I guess, building something, and it's all about the horse and the Western way of life.
That is super cool. I like that, what you had said there about the girl showing her horse for the first time at the state fair. That gives her an opportunity to be a focal point of something. I think that is super cool. Now, one thing I did want to mention before we hit bottom of the hour news, do you get anyone reaching out to you, say, obviously outside of the ag sector, your general urban person, or maybe someone who's not very familiar with how ag, equine, and anything about it really works? Do you hear anyone that says like, oh, rodeo is bad, or you're doing bad things, this is harming the horse, that side of the aisle for people who are saying, you're not doing something right? Do you get any negativity or anything like that from other sides of the aisle?
That's
Or
actually
maybe
a really good question.
misconception?
That's a really good question. And knock on wood, it has been such positive feedback as far as dealing with the people that are urban or from even Bismarck City itself. I did a long-term sub position and was touched by a lot of kids that were just interested in horses. And then it came to rodeo conversations. So we opened our barn up and I started having these kids come out, which led to horse camps for children that aren't horse savvy and want to learn about it, so that we could be a tool to advocate and educate how much we do for these horses. I mean, they eat breakfast before we do. They're always on our mind 24/7. Same with our livestock, same with every rancher that I interview. I mean, that is a common denominator. So luckily, it has been positive feedback. And if there were ever anything, I just have to show them the way, because our people here treat animals just like people.
Right, and I totally agree with that. We've had a few guests on from, therapists or different equine specialists, where they even have like spa days for the horses and physical therapy and general massaging,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that way the muscles don't cramp. It's kind of crazy that these animals get treated better than most people do, in my opinion, which is just great
They
and
do.
fabulous. So I wanted to know if you were adding something like that into the magazine to kind of help. Stop the misconceptions and bridge that gap between urban and agriculture. And it sounds like you're doing that.
That is our mission for sure. A positive light, because yeah, that's what we have. And horses provide happiness and adventure. And they are big animals. I mean, you do need to be educated and know how to handle them. Otherwise, the miscommunication and the size is when people get hurt. So
Right.
we're trying to do that.
All right. Tisa, we got to hit bottom of the hour news really quick. But when we come back, I know we still got a bunch of questions, and we got Bridgette back on here as well. And I know that she had a bunch of questions that she'd like to ask you as well. And anyone listening, if you have a question, or maybe you've read the magazine and have some positive thoughts on it, and you want to share them with us, feel free to do so. Give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. Our email inbox is weather or ag@flagfamily.com, and as well the comment box is on the live stream on Facebook and YouTube Live. We'll be back in just a few moments.
I absolutely love my white goose down blanket because it has superior insulating power because it is goose.
Well, it is. And, I, for Christmas, had gotten a 6-piece towel set, and we've got extra people being in the house for the holidays. So the towels are needed. I got my stepson a terry cloth robe. I mean, you too can get fantastic stuff at mypillow.com. Just click on the radio listener square using promo code WDAY and save big.
Other great specials including the Roll and Go Anywhere My Pillows. They have the best sheets ever, my slippers in different styles, and also the My Pillow 2.0, all available at mypillow.com using the promo code WDAY.
Or call 800-875-0644. That's 1-800-875-0644 and enter promo code WDAY to save big on your holiday deals at mypillow.com.
Hello from the WDAY News Center. I'm Ty Schoenert with your news update. A Moorhead man facing a felony drug charge following a Tuesday raid. 29-year-old Taha Abdullah was arrested after police, sheriff's deputies, and the Cass County Drug Task Force carried out a search warrant. Police say they found over 2 pounds of cocaine and nearly 4 pounds of marijuana and a shotgun and ammo. Drugs have an estimated street value of roughly $40,000. A former tax return preparer who served many people in the Fargo area pleading guilty to 5 counts of preparing false tax returns for clients. Joseph Cora pleading guilty to claiming false tax credits, business profits, and losses on returns, which increased his clients' tax refunds, resulting in the IRS losing $294,000. Cora facing a maximum of 3 years in prison for each filing of a false return to a maximum of 15 years in prison. And Minnesota lawmakers aiming to take on false information by criminalizing non-consensual deepfake audio and video. Representative Zach Stevenson from Coon Rapids aiming to strengthen new legislation targeting deepfakes and false political messaging, including a forfeiture of nomination or office if a candidate's convicted of a deepfake crime. Representative Paul Torkelson from Hanska attempted to remove the enhanced penalties from the bill, but that was later struck down. I'm Ty Schoenert with WDAY RadioNow.com. First with the news when you need to know.
Hey, Jay here. Let me tell you about Bottle Barn Liquors. They're locally owned and bursting with character. At Bottle Barn, they really do pride themselves on customer service and expert knowledge about the extensive range of wine, craft beer, and spirits. Bottle Barn can special order your favorite product for that special occasion. 3 convenient locations, Fargo, downtown Fargo, and West Fargo for your favorite cigars. Visit BottleBarnLiquors.com for the ultimate spirited experience.
Morton Buildings is hiring, so whether you're switching careers or just graduating high school, listen up. Hey, Will here. I'm 23 years old. I found my groove with a nationally recognized brand, doing what I love with an awesome crew and making some serious bank. Morton doesn't just pay well, they've got bad weather pay. Even if it's too hot or too cold, I still get paid up to 100 hours, whether I use them or not. Last year, I won a trip to Jamaica just for doing my job. And get this, quarterly bonuses. Why wouldn't you join the team? Go to mortonbuildings.com/careers for a career that's awesome. Don't wait, your future is calling with Morton Buildings.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome back to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I am so sorry. I firmly blame South Dakota Cellular Service for my lack of connections today. And no, I'm not an AT&T customer, just like all those others who are blacked out across the country somewhere. Not mine. Now, the thing I'm not going to blame is that today we want to give a reminder that if you are thinking about possibly changing careers, looking for a new job, keep Morton Buildings in mind. They are hiring. They are 100% employee owned. They make sure that you get bad weather pay. So even if it's too hot or too cold to work, you can be a part of getting a paycheck that day. Morton Buildings is hiring, and they are a game changer. Make sure to qualify for things like quarterly bonuses, and you can go to mortonbuildings.com/careers to get started on that new spot of yours at Morton Buildings. We have the great pleasure of visiting with our guest today. Her name is Tisa Peak. She is with Dakota Horse Magazine and Dakota Cowboy on Beck TV. And I apologize for dropping out of the radar there for a little bit. Thankfully, you guys kept it going. And I heard you talking about the magazine, but what's going on with Dakota Cowboy on Beck TV? How did this come about?
That was purely an accident. I did not go to college for journalism by any means, but I guess with my relationships with people from the magazine and the students and everything, they asked me to start doing a segment, and one thing led to another. Dakota Cowboy is about the Western way of life. So now we have this show on Sunday nights, and it just helps with the magazine. Just spread that message of advocacy and positiveness in our Western way of life and how we treat our animals, of course.
And I'm on
Are we
mute. That
gone?
doesn't help either. I was gonna say we lost Bridget again there, so we'll have to get her reconnected.
Okay.
Looks like her cell service took another dive there. But what do you see the future when it comes down to the next handful of years when it comes to the magazine as well as the TV thing you got going on?
Well, I guess that magazine, we just want to hit as many states as we can and keep highlighting our tremendous athletes, whether they're the horses of North Dakota and surrounding states or the kids or the 80-year-old grandmas that are still doing it. We're just going to keep on bringing those messages across. And then I really feel like it could, I don't, is something special about North Dakota. And same with the show. It just keeps getting better and better. Like I said, I didn't have a clue of what I was doing, so the learning curves are getting a little bit better. So it's fun to just focus on my interviewee, just like you guys. You do a great job.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'm glad that you continue to do that with showcasing different stories and just the great things about equine and across the state of North Dakota.
That's right.
And I think we got Bridget back. Bridget, are you there?
We do. Once again, South Dakota. We're going to have a talk later. Nonetheless, one of the things I had heard you talk about earlier was we're different here in the Dakotas about how we work and train horses. Can you take a little sidebar on that and explain maybe a little bit more to folks who maybe don't understand what that might mean?
That's an excellent question. So, there's rodeo events predominantly spring, fall, and winter, or summer rather. Winter, they're a little bit more sparse, but there's still jackpots. People are still active. And now we have a lot more indoor arenas in North Dakota, especially in the western side of the state, and a lot more people are building them. However, it's still hard. You have to really plan ahead how you're going to condition an athlete, how you take care of your cattle in the winter to be able to use them as rodeo stock, and just the traveling conditions. You have to plan so much more. Is it icy roads? Take care of your tires. Also, the dress for yourselves. My kids will run out with not much on, and we know what happens then, but I prepare myself in the fall. Like, you start with the layers and then you build yourself into working the 10 hours days in the barn when it's 0 degrees or below. Our feed, you have to feed so consistently, strategically when you're dealing with the weather changes that we have. We went from 0 degrees a couple weeks ago. Now we're at a field temperature of 80. You have to pay attention to these animals. When something, the water temperature in their water tanks, that can affect a horse. They have a different stomach than a cow, for instance. So it just teaches you so many lifelong skills, even if you don't use this forever. A lot of the people that I competed with go on to be great business people. They're outgoing, they can multitask. There's so many life skills that you can learn in the equine industry, the Western way of life, that make for North Dakota, I think, youth to become the future leaders of America, for in my opinion.
That's huge. Just the fact that I've always heard that as we listen to more and more folks looking for people to hire, looking for new employees, if you come from the regions of the state, especially the rural populations of either Dakota, you just seem to get a little bit of a leg up. They know you come with a great work ethic and the ability to think on your feet, and you're proving that that's exactly what it looks like in so many different ways. And besides the magazine and the TV show, because it's not like you don't have enough going on, how do you work in rodeo? And what is a mounted shooter? I've already had some text messages asking me, what's that about?
Oh, that's a good question. So I did learn. How about I'll answer the first question. So that my husband is actually he was born and raised in Pueblo, Colorado, and he's been a professional roper since he was 18. He's a tie-down roper, and he team ropes now with my son. And my kids, they just grow up on horses with us. This is our way of life. So when we're traveling to the rodeos, I'm getting interviews. And if I'm in the barn for 2 hours, I'm answering my phone with the business, and you just make it work. There is not a day that goes by in my life that I cannot ride a horse. If I don't, there's something wrong. And it's something we just don't want to give up. So we are road warriors on the weekends, that's for sure. We used to rodeo a lot more, and it took a lot more time, but with children and all this, our purpose is better spent not on the miles on the road, but going to all our beautiful local amateur associations in North Dakota. So there's like 50 to 60 rodeos we can hit starting in April through November, which is insanely amazing that we have that opportunity to rodeo as a family. On the second note, mounted shooting, I learned about. I actually had a horse that I was selling a couple years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and she just wasn't quite, well, there was nothing actually wrong about her. I needed to sell a horse. I'm in the horse business. There wasn't. And this guy came, well, can I try her? She was so gentle disposition. He's like, can I shoot off her? And I was like, shoot off her? Okay. Well, these mounted shooters do a pattern. It's a different pattern all the time, and they practice this, and then they have balloons on poles, and they shoot them, and they're all dressed up like the Wild Wild West, and you really need a broke, great dispositioned horse with speed, because it's also timed, and it has to be a clean event from what I've noticed, and it transfers well with rodeo horses because of the brokenness that you need and the pressure that they do go under. But these people that I know in Bismarck travel, I mean, to Oklahoma regularly, Texas, all over the country with mounted shooting. And it is really a growing popular sport.
Wow, I had no idea.
And age does not discriminate. You know, when you're 80, you can still ride a horse because that 5-year-old horse still has legs.
Absolutely. And you can be creative about how you get up on that 5-year-old horse.
You sure can. You sure can.
There have been so many different things that we have had a chance to talk about in this time with you today, Tisa. It's amazing. Or Tisa, excuse me. There's just a pile of things that we didn't even think we would get to, but the most important one is going to be for you to reiterate, how can folks find you, whether the magazine or the TV show, if they want to follow along with the Western way of life?
So just like this show, I'm so impressed. I love hearing the knowledge and just getting insights on the cattle market, the weather, and how it affects us. So on BeckNews.com, Beck TV, you can just find Dakota Cowboy, and you can watch any episode anytime once it's aired. That's pretty easy. And the magazine, you can reach out on Facebook at Dakota Horse Magazine or our website at DakotaHorseMagazine.com, and you have it popped up right there. And there's that events calendar. If you do have an event, you can submit it yourself. It's pretty easy. We're trying to build that up for obviously our state population, but you know, there's lots of people that come to North Dakota and they wonder, hey, what's going on? Where's the mounted shooting? Let's go to Dickinson on Monday. There's a mounted shooting. So yeah, pretty easy.
Man, talk about a way to plan a vacation you weren't even expecting. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, you don't have to leave. You don't have to go far. But have fun in South Dakota. I know it's a big production time, and I think that's awesome. I did an interview last week on that. So cool. And go talk to Christy about that cell service.
I'm going to have a discussion about that. But I will tell you that the folks that are still in the sales did text me. The highest selling bull so far just went for $12,000. So it's a good sale day here. And the weather's beautiful. So thanks for joining us today, Tisa. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for having us. Have a good one.
Thank you very much.
Well, after all of those flips and flops, and I'm hoping I keep my phone service going, we'll be right back. So don't you go anywhere. You want to hear how Justin and I end the rest of our day.
This is a shout out to all hardworking farmers and ranchers. If you're looking for the cream of the crop in post-frame construction, look no further than Thor Buildings. Because let's face it, having the right size building for your equipment or livestock is crucial for your success. At Thor Buildings, they'll design your building for max efficiency, customized to tackle the seasonal weather in your neck of the woods. Post-frame construction tailored to your livestock and ag needs. Buildings built better, stronger, and built to last. So when it's time to put the hammer down, build with Thor. Visit thorbuildings.com today.
Are you tired of woke investment firms trying to push their political agenda onto your money? This is Brian Kronk, financial advisor at Collins & Kronk here in Fargo. If you are through with big East Coast companies and their ESG agenda, call Collins & Kronk for a consultation. See how we build a plan based on what matters to you. Call Collins & Kronk today, 701-235-0119. That's 701-235-0119. At Collins & Kronk, you matter.
Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member, FINRA, SIPC. Collins & Kronk is not a broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
Here's a tasty seasonal beverage from Shiner Brewing called Shiner Hill Country Peach Wheat. It's a special small batch brew that Shiner makes each year. It's a wheat ale brewed with juicy, perfectly ripe peaches from Texas Hill Country. The peaches mixed with a variety of malts make for a slightly sweet, refreshing ale with a golden hazy color. It tastes great and it's only around for a little while, so pop open a peach and enjoy Shiner Hill Country Peach Wheat Ale, available in your local liquor stores from Shiner Brewing Company.
Ready for a career move with a company that values family and offers fantastic perks? Plains Grain and Agronomy is now hiring. They're looking for Class A truck drivers, custom applicators, and more. Join the team and grow your career in agriculture. Apply online at plainsgrain.com. That's plainsgrain.com. Start your journey with Plains Grain and Agronomy as a Class A truck driver, custom applicator, or one of the many other positions available.
Hi, Vince from Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables 2. I get it. You don't want to buy a hot tub. Too much money, too much work, never going to use it. Everything you've heard about why not to buy a hot tub, I've heard it too. But here's the deal. You want to be the best possible version of yourself. Be a better husband, wife, mom, or dad. Walk better, talk better, do everything better because of hot water than doing without it. Guaranteed. Save on all remaining 2023 models. Your wellness is within reach. Unleash the best possible you with Hot Spring Spas and Pool Tables 2.
If you're looking for honest, dependable, over-the-top customer service at affordable prices, you'll want to do business with Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon, North Dakota. Welton's is a name you've grown to trust, proudly serving the area for 50 years. Welton's Tire always works hard for customer satisfaction and service. They offer brands for every make. If you need tires, repair, maintenance, or on-farm tire service, contact Welton's Tire on Main Street in Lisbon. Tell them Beth sent you. Online at weltonstire.net.
Asante came to TurboTax after graduating from culinary school and landing a job in the hottest kitchen in town.
My hands are full all day, every day. I love it.
Asante, as your TurboTax expert, I'll make your moves count, guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and your maximum refund. Sound good?
Yes, expert!
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. It is 1:52 on this Thursday afternoon, and temperatures, last report, 44 degrees. It's likely we are about 45 or 46. We'll have a full rundown on that forecast coming up here in just a bit. But Bridgette, did you manage to buy any cattle down there in South Dakota yet?
I have not yet bought anything, but once I get back in to the barn, you just never know what might be happening, right? There's always time.
There is still plenty of time. Well, I teased some of our ag topics at the beginning of our show here, so why don't we continue on with the beef conversation and talk a little bit about Kobe and Wagyu beef?
Well, why not? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that my lemon meringue pie that I was just slurping off the plate there? Oh, I don't want to rub that in, but yeah.
Well, I got chocolate milk.
Desserts at bull sales are a really, really good thing. And because I happen to be at a sale today and we're talking about beef, you know, sometimes you hear Kobe or you hear Wagyu and they're used interchangeably. But the reality is Kobe beef falls under the Wagyu category. Wagyu is a broader term that encompasses various cattle types. So in essence, every Kobe is a Wagyu, but not all Wagyu would be classified as Kobe. Kobe is a specific type of Wagyu. Now, herds have taken some of that Wagyu genetics and incorporated into their programs. So you may see some of those genetics in even other breeds as well. But overall, when folks are raising their Wagyu, it translates as Japanese cattle, and it really encompasses all cattle bred in Japan.
And I think the old T-Mobile AT&T connection just gave out again. Bridgette, did you just reconnect? I thought I heard a little chipper in my ear there.
Yep, I'm still here. It's Verizon that's doing me dirty today, I'm afraid, you guys. That's what's holding us up. But
Well,
the
why don't we
bigger thing
pick
to
up where we
remember
left
is
off?
that Kobe beef that you're going to buy is, no matter what, a tender, well-raised beef. It's marbled. Its genetics lend to its excellent flavor, and it's tender quality. And that's what people are looking for as they are buying Kobe, again, a specific type of Wagyu beef, Japanese breeds.
Very interesting. I didn't know they were the same thing. I guess it's kind of like the whole whiskey bourbon
Kind
thing,
of.
right?
They kind of are, yeah. It's like that subcategory underneath it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, very interesting. Thanks for telling us a little bit about the difference between those two. And another one of our topics was a pilot program for remote grading of beef. What's that one about?
Okay, so we know that as beef goes through the processing facilities, right? Whether it's at a butcher shop, et cetera, it has to be USDA inspected. And what they are trying to do is open up more inspection availability so that we can get beef processed more regularly than getting holdups when we are in certain facilities, like if we don't have somebody on site to do that grading. So this pilot program matches some very simple technology with the data management that's overseen by USDA. And this pilot program has been done in a number of places. What it literally is doing is allowing some changes in that grading program. And so you have an opportunity to get more product graded at one time. They're doing it a little bit more remotely than they have in the past. Plant employees know specific images of live cattle and beef carcasses that they need to capture, and those are submitted to a USDA grader somewhere else in the U.S. who can come back and say, yep, we're good. This is how you can grade that beef. So it's been working out pretty well just on a limited facility or a limited basis in facilities right now.
Cool.
Things
Right
you just
on.
didn't
So
know,
on
right? It's like having those remote pharmacy technicians in rural pharmacies that go around the country.
Yeah, it really is. Well, why don't we do a quick rundown on the forecast? I know you're enjoying a beautiful afternoon, and many others are as well. We have temperatures in the mid 40s right now here in Fargo. Lots of sunshine out there, and we'll continue to see a lot of sunshine throughout this afternoon. There is a little band of some scattered upper level clouds that will filter out a little sunshine later this afternoon. Right now, they're from Grand Forks to say up in Williston, so kind of across the northern half of the state. So those will be working their way south. So we will get a little bit of filtered sunshine the end of day, but we'll still have high temperatures in the mid to upper 40s for today, and there are a few 50s that will be found in portions of southwestern North Dakota. For tonight, we'll have temperatures dropping down into the teens and low 20s down here in the Southern Valley. It will be a little windy, though, as north winds are around 15 to 30 miles per hour. There's a slight chance for a few flurries, a light dusting of snow as well. For a few, I should say there's a chance for a light snow shower. Not everybody is going to see the snow for tonight. And we'll see a few flurries lasting here or there throughout the afternoon of Friday, but it'll trend more dry and more sunny as we head throughout the day. Well, it'll end the day partly cloudy with temperatures in the mid to upper 20s and lighter wind. And for our weekend, low 50s on your Saturday, close to 40 on Sunday with a slight chance for a pocket of a wintry mix. Again, not all will see that. But that'll wrap it up for us here on Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining and listening today. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.